Yahoo! Welcome, my beautiful brothers and sisters, fellow radiators of love. My name is Jamal Pope, aka J Phoenix, and this is going to be your astrology forecast for Thursday, September 21st of 2023. Thanks so much for joining me on this video. Hopefully, you guys are having a wonderful week so far. And, yesterday was pretty chill, I would say. I think a lot of people are kind of feeling the same, that the week's kind of long, but it doesn't seem like anything like major is happening. Or if things do happen, it seems like people are taking it in stride. You know what I'm saying? So feels like a long week. Maybe time's moving a little bit slower than it did last week, but I think it's just because we are kind of in between some major transits. So I think we should take advantage of days like yesterday and today because the energy is not going to be super, super intense. It's going to provide some positivity, some uplifting energy, and some opportunities for us to sort of, go over what we've learned over this past month during these retrogrades, during this Venus retrograde, this Mercury retrograde, and Mars, of course, which is moving forward in Libra. We have these times to help us to reflect on those, like just kind of go over what we've learned and then implement those things too, right? So let's go ahead and take a look at what we have going on for this Thursday. Well, we do have the moon in Sagittarius still, which will be going throughout pretty much the whole of the second decan and going a little bit into that third decan today. It does begin the day off with a square to Mercury. Now, of course, this happens really early in the morning on the East Coast. Now, if you're in Europe, this is like your middle of the day, so you guys will probably experience a little bit more. Now, what's interesting about this with the moon squaring over to Mercury, Mercury is still in shadow, but Mercury is starting to pick up speed now. At this point, I think, let's say Mercury is moving, it's almost moving a degree a day. Almost moving a degree a day. So Mercury is picking up speed, which Mercury is happy about that. The moon is in jovial Sagittarius, but it is disposited by Jupiter as retrograde in Taurus. Now, those energies will kink us a little bit later today, but this square, yeah, there's going to be a challenge to where it's like, we may want things to definitely look a certain way, and we definitely maybe are trying to like organize things a certain way. And this moon in Sagittarius is really reminding us to have faith. It's reminding us to kind of allow things to flow. I mean, we still have a lot of mutable energy right now. We still have a good bit of this Virgo energy, still have a good bit of this prominent Pisces energy as well. And things are about to start to move a little bit more cardinal here. But as the sun moves into Libra, things are about to get a little bit more cardinal, right? So that's the thing about this. We are in mutable times. And when you're in mutable times, it gives you an opportunity to experiment. It gives you an opportunity to recalibrate and to kind of try different things, get messy, make mistakes, get a little creative. So this moon squaring over to Mercury, like I said, not the worst square in the world. It's only bad if you get so stuck on thinking that things have to look a certain way and you're not willing to kind of just see what else is out there, kind of alter your perspective a little bit. This moon in Sagittarius is wanting us to have more of a big picture energy about things, not just look at the small, minute details, especially since the sun is finishing up in Virgo. So as the sun gets to the edge of Virgo, this is sort of like that last minute thing where we're trying to get all of our ducks in a row and paper's flying everywhere. It's like that scene from freaking SpongeBob when all like the little versions of him were like in his like brain, whatever like that, and they're like freaking out at the end. That's what happens when you get to the end of Virgo. Like you have all these mini yous are just freaking out. The office inside your brain. It's like there's paper flying and like there's a fire and all kinds of stuff. It can feel a little chaotic. Moon in Sagittarius is like, yo, chill. Let's look at this. Let's have a big picture look at this. Sure, maybe the little minute details don't exactly line up with what you see in your head, but we have to consider, of course, that Mercury is starting to pick up speed. Mars is moving forward. Venus is moving forward, right? All the personal planets are moving forward. This is positive compared to where we were just a week or two ago, just compared to where we were a month ago, a month and a half ago, when we had Venus and Mercury also retrograde during this time, and a Jupiter which was very, very slow and then swap positions with Venus. So we've been through crazier times as far as like retrograde planets go. Now things are starting to pick up, and that is a reason to get excited. This is a moment where you don't want to necessarily do like any massive big changes per se. If there are going to be big changes, they've already been set in motion. So it's not going to be like suddenly things coming out of nowhere, or at least they shouldn't be, right? You've already set a lot of these things in motion. This is really more so about just embracing the journey. That's what this whole moon of Sagittarius is. It's about embracing the journey and appreciating all of the nuances and all of the quirks of this journey that we are on, right? So as you move throughout the day, you're going to see this moon. It's going to get to that 15th degree, right? And this, of course, is going to be occurring around 2:23, so probably a little bit earlier. It's going to make a nice little quincunx over to Jupiter. Now, this is what you would call a mutual reception, where the moon likes to be in Taurus, right? It's exalted in Taurus, and Jupiter rules Sagittarius, which is where the moon is. So they're in each other's houses, they're in each other's homes. So it's like Jupiter will kind of like call up the moon and be like, "Hey, yo, so this thing, like you have like all these different rules, stuff like that, and like this thing happened and this thing happened. How do I work this out?" Simultaneously, the moon will be doing that to Jupiter. It's like, "Hey, yo, so you have like all of these asteroids that you're like managing and shit. How in the world do you do this?" that's the thing about it. Sometimes when it comes to the Sagittarius energy, you can get so many different ideas and epiphanies, right? Think of the asteroids as different like ideas and inspirations, whatever like that, and or different projects. Jupiter has a lot of different things that it wants to do. It has a lot of different things it aspires to do, a lot of different places it wants to explore, a lot of different ideas and creativity. Trying to kind of navigate that, right, can be a little bit difficult. You probably have 3 or 4 or 5 different things that you could kind of see your life going, or different. You don't just corner yourself into one box, if you will. But we have to be a little bit strategic about this too. And I think that's what this whole Virgo season is teaching us, is to be strategic about these things. Take me, for example, astrology. That's one thing I love to do. Astrology, writing. I want to write my own like little Western light novels, right? Music. That's something else that I don't really talk about too often, but I hear a lot of music in my head, but I haven't gotten to a studio or anything like that. But I know people too. So it's like I have resources and I know people that make music that I'm sure would be more than happy to kind of teach me the ropes and stuff. So there's different things, what I'm saying, that we all have that, we can explore. And not all of these things have to be something that makes us money per se, but it is something that will bring value to our life with Jupiter and Taurus, something that will help to increase our sense of value and worth, right? And ultimately help us to leave a legacy behind as well. So this could also be like musical instruments too. You know what I mean? So it's like there's a lot of different things here. And I think, the awkward part about this is like, holy crap, I have a lot of different dreams, How do I go about them? Can I do them all at once? Do I take one and leverage it into another? What are you going to do? Right? That's kind of what I plan on doing, is taking kind of one of them and leveraging it into another, and then leveraging that to another. And, this is the beautiful thing about the sun finishing up in Virgo, is that now that we are looking at our day-to-day reality, how to recalibrate it so we can feel more valuable, so we can be of better service to the world and be that true spiritual servant to humanity. We got to learn how to fill up our own cups. We got to learn how to take care of ourselves, take care of our own energy, and to be intentional about our day, right? So, yeah, you may have 3 or 4 or 5 or 7 different things. This is like this quincunx is very 7 of Cups kind of energy, right? Even though there's no water involved here. I mean, the moon it rules, Cancer, but this is very much so 7 of Cups kind of energy. There are so many opportunities, afforded to you right now. There's so many different things that you can do, so many things that you're probably inspired by, many things that you're probably passionate about and love and want to explore. You can do all of these things. You just got to figure out a way to organize your life in order to achieve those goals. And just also realize that you don't have to become a master of these things overnight. It's a step-by-step process, day by day. So it's like, say you have 3 things that you want to do, right? and they all are kind of very different. Maybe you want to write a book, maybe you want to learn an instrument, and maybe you want to, I don't know, learn how to race cars or something. I just watched a bunch of like car racing, like reels, stuff like that. Well, like a video game. But say you want to learn all those three things, right? That this is when you kind of look at your day, look at your week. This is about having the vision as well in the big picture. Look to see how you can organize things. Maybe you spend a couple of days a week writing. Maybe you spend a couple of days a week. I can't remember the things I was talking about. Well, I guess with the racing thing, and by racing I mean like going to like an actual track and race and stuff like that, right? Then you go to the track once a week, or you practice the instrument like maybe 15 minutes a day, or something like that. And to also be okay with whatever progress comes up. Be okay with some days it may feel like you may feel like 100%. Some days you may feel like 50%. Some days you may feel like 20%. But showing up is more than half the battle, because it shows the intention. It communicates that attention to God and the universe, that you are here and you are willing and you are embracing and accepting those gifts, the gift of life. You know what I'm saying? So, and the other cool thing about this day is that we are going to see a grand fire trine. This moon is going to make a wonderful, nice aspect over to Venus and Juno and Leo, and it's also going to be trining over to Chiron. So we have this today can be a very inspiring and motivating day. And we need a day like this, especially with the sun that's at the end of Virgo, and things may seem a little chaotic. And we're trying to figure out how we're going to get all of our ducks in a row before we get to Libra season, and we make it to start going into that top half of the zodiac, if you will, right? So this is a major shift point that we're at. So we get this injection of all of this fiery energy to inspire and motivate us. Mars is going to love this, because now that we get all this injection of fire energy, now Mars, especially now that it's come off of that 15th degree and it's heading towards an opposition with Chiron, mind you, it is still in sextile with Venus, and it'll be in sextile with Venus for a little bit now. We got to remember, Venus does move faster than Mars, but because Venus went retrograde, they're moving at a very similar speed. So this does actually have like a nice little opportunity here with Mars and Venus, where Mars is kind of piggybacking off of this energy with the fire trine. It's like, yo, there are opportunities aplenty opening up to where we can connect with other people, where we can find that peace and that harmony. And we bring that creativity and that passion out where the Venus is, and we receive that, and we have the courage to put ourselves out there, other people can start to receive us. You'll be surprised right now. Like, if like so many people want to like be content creators and put themselves out there. It's not the easiest thing to do. But I tell people, do it. Just do it. Like, once you find like a rhythm, it just comes automatic. And there'll be times where you may take breaks. There may be times where you may need to chill. But if you want to do it, do it. This is a great time. Today is a great day. If you have been thinking about making that YouTube video, or making that blog post, or like making that blog or that website or something like that, Can't believe that just happened. I mean, I can believe it, but y'all know what just happened? Took me a while to get back. So, in any event, I'm back. My cat was playing with the wires and unhooked it and disconnected. And for some reason, it was taking me a while to get it to come back. So, anyways, see, Mercury's still in shadow. Things like that may happen. Little mishaps, weird things, your connection might go out and stuff. And you got to keep it moving. Despite the fact that my connection went out just now and stuff, like I said, my cat Leo was playing with the wires and stuff and disconnected it. So some days you may feel disconnected, or other people may be like, oh my God, you're disconnected. So today can be a really great day that will inspire you. But this is the thing, dude. Are you going to pay so much attention to your traumas and your wounding with the Chiron in Aries? I think that's the part of it too. It's like, it could be this passion that you have and you want to put yourself out there more, especially with Venus. Venus wants to be seen right now with Leo, especially with Juno there. But then you have Chiron here because it's a trine, but it may feel a bit awkward. That's the thing about this. It may feel a bit awkward, especially with Mars that's coming into opposition with Chiron. It's within 2 degrees of it, too. So we're already starting to feel that energy, right? And this is the moment where we may you don't outsource and just sell yourself out just to make peace with other people, right? Especially if it means neglecting who you really are. Well, don't don't be fake with this. You know what I'm saying? No, be real, be raw. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing about this Chiron too, is that we can open up awesome new doors right now. Remember, this is a glyph of a key, right? So it's like we can open up some awesome new doors right now, but it's only going to come if we have the courage and the bravery to move forward, even when we're not feeling 100%, even when we may be feeling 50% or 20%. We have to cultivate a habit of still taking the action, even when we don't want to take the action. Especially if there are no major red flags that are coming up from the universe saying to not take a particular action. Having the courage and the bravery to still take the action because you cherish your heart, you cherish passion, you cherish, truth, and you champion truth above everything else. That's why I did the meditation for today. Do you have a genuine passion for truth and enlightenment? Or are you simply going through the motions? Are you simply going through the motions? And that's the thing about this. And that's the funny thing about enlightenment too. It's like this funny little parable where it's like you have a person who wanted to seek enlightenment. And this person sought out a master, a tutor, if you will. And he meditates with this tutor, with this master, right? With this teacher. He meditates and he achieves enlightenment. And then he talks to his master, is like, all right, I achieved enlightenment. I was meditating for days and then days and then days, and I had this beautiful Kundalini awakening experience, and I understand now. I am one with the universe. I am one with God. I am love. Love is everything. Now what? And the guru was like, what did you do before you came on this journey? It's like, oh, well, I was a merchant. I sold fruit. You go back to selling fruit. And the dude's like, wait, what? And that's in many ways how this journey is. Most people think that once you reach some sort of enlightenment, or if you're seeking truth, that there's this magical moment that happens, that when you find that thing, you have that moment that everything just changes, and everything does change, but it's so much more subtle than we think it is. But we think that everything's just going to change, and when it doesn't change the way we thought, and when we still experience hardships and challenges, we start to look at spirituality and be like, well, what the fuck was the purpose of this? The purpose is that it's an everyday journey and it doesn't stop. So if you really are about this journey is full of blessings. It's full of blessings, filled to the brim with blessings. But there are challenges still. There are going to be moments where you take an arrow to the freaking knee. And then you got to figure out how to get up and still do the work, do the spiritual work, right? So today is going to be a positive day. And we'll go ahead and say that straight up. Today will be a positive day, right? There's a lot of beautiful energy right now, and we are getting a bit of a reprieve before we get the sun moving into Libra, right? Before Mars starts to oppose Chiron and things start to feel even weirder, right? Before Mercury eventually opposes Neptune. So we are building up to some energies right now. And we have this, when we get days like this, we should take it as an opportunity to reflect and also to take some sort of inspired action. Have fun with the energy, get creative, get messy, seek out your joy, seek out that passion, invoke it, express it, and connect with other people if you can, because that's really what it's all about. That's really what it's all about. Let's get into the cards. So if you stuck with me through that period where the lights went out, I appreciate it. Well, I was not expecting, because I can feel my cat kind of like going for my leg, whatever like that, but I didn't know he was tugging on the actual wire here, and then the connection went out. So yeah. All right, let's see what we got for today. Yeah, we have the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. Knight of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah, this is definitely a day, the Knight, I like the Knights because they are much more action oriented. Now, the Knight of Pentacles is the most, I guess you could say, sturdy or logical thinking of the Knights. One thing's he definitely wants to have like a plan before going into battle. But being that it's in reverse, this is like, maybe you are feeling like, okay, yeah, I am ready to fight, Jay. I am ready to put myself out there, but I don't always feel 100%. And I don't know if this plan is going to work. I thought it was foolproof, but I'm learning that this plan isn't exactly foolproof. I've been saying for a little bit now, plan to have your plans change, whether they big changes or little incremental changes. I feel like it's more incremental changes, but that's okay. You can have a game plan going into a game. Like a coach will have a game plan going into a game, and based off of what happens in the first 5 minutes of that game, maybe even first 2 to 3 minutes of that game, coach may have to change his entire game plan, and that's why you go through the process of, reflecting on what you've learned and stuff like that, and having the ability to respond efficiently, right? And quickly, but not erratically, right? Not impulsively, but to do so with a sound mind as well, right? So we also have the card of the Empress in reverse too. So this is definitely a moment, where maybe we're not necessarily feeling our most valuable right now. Maybe we're not feeling our most beautiful and up to par. Probably because, like I said, the plan that we probably set in motion isn't exactly going the way that we thought. But this is like, we have to trust God's plan. This is a trust in God's plan. And also just like, what parts of the plan are working? Okay, keep working on that. And just take little step by step, day by day, and you will definitely get there. Bottom of the deck. Yeah, we have the Devil card in reverse. Upright. So it's interesting how I have the Knight of Pentacles and the Empress in reverse, but the Devil is upright. So the only way that you really kind of squander the inspiration that can come today is if you just listen to the dark. If you listen to these darker energies that are trying to blind you and trying to keep you small and keep you stuck and keep you going around in circles and keep you from your divine birthright. So don't listen to all that. Don't listen to the doubts, the fears. It's all a fucking smokescreen today. It's all a fucking smokescreen today. Okay? Don't listen to that. Know that you are absolutely worthy. And like I said, this is kind of a test of like whether you're about it. But like I said, there's a lot of beautiful, inspiring energy. we got a grand fire trine. It's been a while since we've had one of those. So definitely, like, you're gonna feel something. You're gonna feel the juice today. I know fire signs, y'all are gonna feel the juice from this. Like, just pay attention to if you're a fire sign, or if you know someone's a fire sign, pay attention. They are going to have a lot of juice today, right? They're going to be fired up. And honestly, we need some of that energy right now. We need to feel fired up about the present and about the future. So we really do. Too much apathy going on right now. We have the waning moon. It's funny because it's waxing, but this is a card of the waning moon. What do you need to release? So just ask yourself, what I think this is more so of like, what did we already release before going into that recent new moon in Virgo? But yeah, maybe you haven't quite released those things yet. So do you have to go back and release some more things? Or are you kind of, maybe this whole Knight of Pentacles, the Empress in reverse, is maybe you actually mourning what you just had to release. And maybe the devil on your shoulder is on your shoulders like, hey, you can re-implement that thing, but you know your mind, in your heart that you release those things for a reason. So allow those things to move on. Yeah. That is going to do it for your forecast today. I hope that you all enjoyed it. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. I definitely appreciate it. If you'd like to have a personal reading with me, beloved, you can follow the link in the description below to my website, jphoenix.com. And if you use the code Equinox, you will receive 30% off of your readings. So yes, I'm going to be doing a sale on all of my readings. So like I said, use that promo code Equinox. It's going to apply to all of my services with the exception of the Express Tarot card reading. But all the other ones, if you use that code, you will receive 30% off. And I will probably do that through like that first week of October. So like October 8th, 9th, 10th. I haven't quite decided which one it will be, but it will go through that time. So there'll be a great opportunity for you guys to get a reading with me. Like I said, I could do a birth chart, transit report. If you already know your birth chart, it'll be good for you to do like a transit report, or I also do like a solar return invigoration reading, and I'm also doing full moon manifestation readings as well. So yep. That's going to do it for this video today. Hope you all liked it. Please like, share, and subscribe. I definitely appreciate that. And I will see you guys on the next video. Peace out.